Hi everybody, this is Caleb Johnson with another blog post. I want to go over a couple things with you today is on keeping track of your numbers. When you're making your calls in your business, in your network marketing business or sales business, keep a track of your calls. If you make 40 calls or 50 calls or 60 calls or whatever many calls you make, keep a track of that and you look at the time. See how long it takes you to make those calls, because the reason why you can create a game plan around how many calls you make and how long it takes. Now you might say, well, I make 2-3 calls, but I was talking to each one of them, and those 2-3 calls actually took about 30 minutes. Yeah, that's if they answer. But on the average, just make, like, if you made about 25 calls, for example, yesterday I made about yesterday and the day before that I made about 200 calls, and yesterday I made about 100 calls. So 100 calls still took me 100 calls took me 3 hours, but I was talking to multiple people on those calls. And at that time frame, I actually got through more people versus a lot more calls. So, but in actuality, 200 calls took me about 3 hours. If I was just pounding the phone, bam, 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 making calls, dialing for dollars, it took me about 3 hours. But in actual, if you get that speed and get that momentum, people are going to answer. So that 200 calls doesn't turn to 200 calls. You can actually do 100 calls in 3 hours, which you probably be thinking, why it took you 3 hours to do 100 calls? Yeah, because you think about it, you make about 20 calls at the first, and you talk to a couple people, you're showing the plan, you're showing the business, you're setting an appointment, and then you have to call them back in 15 minutes, and then you call them back, they have questions, they want to get signed up, you get them started real quick, then you do a game plan session with them, and then most of your part of your team is calling to as well, for you to do 3-way calls, and it's all in that time frame. And then I set myself up, I said 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and see how long it took me to make these calls. And then I got about 100 calls in, as well as doing 3-way calls, signing people up and stuff like that. So for a game plan, knowing that how many calls you do and how long it takes, you can set up a game plan for yourself, meaning that you can say, okay, it takes me about 200 calls in 3 hours, but you'll probably be around 100 calls because people are going to answer. You'll say, okay, so and so think about it. So if I do a 9-hour day, so that's 369, a 9-hour day, so that's going to be about 600 calls. So you at least have a list ready for 600 contacts you're going to make. But you probably won't talk to 600 people. You'll probably talk about to 200 or 300 people, because half of that, because people are going to answer, you're going to get interested, you're going to show the plan, you're going to set up appointments, and then you're going to be talking to them and find out a little bit about what they're looking for, get to know a little bit about people. Your teams will be calling you, 3-way calls and stuff like that. So so just keep track of all your calls and how long it takes to make those calls, and then set time frames and set designated hours for your business, so you'll be able to say, okay, I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to start building my business at 9:30, and I'm going to go from 9:30 to such and such, and these are how many calls I'm going to make, and I'm see how long it takes to make these calls. So that's another blog post for you guys. This is Caleb Johnson here, and just giving you some wisdom, and try it out. Go ahead and make a couple calls, and then see how long it takes you to make those calls, and then you can schedule your day more consistency throughout the week, because you'll say, okay, well, I made 5 calls and it took me about 2 minutes. So you'll say, okay, great, so I can build my business in 2-minute increments, or I can build my business in 3-hour increments, or you can be able to set yourself up throughout the week if you know how many calls it takes you to make and how long it takes you to make it. Alright, this is Caleb Johnson. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.